pancake.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So today I'm doing a Kaido deck list. This is my little list I've been running with Kaido. I got 12 2Ks in there. I got the 10 cost Kaido, which is nice. Board wipe any more than 3. It's usually bricked in hand. Bon Clay's in there. You know, it's a pretty typical list. I'm gonna hop into some ranked games here today. See how these go. I'm pretty sure in today's video I'm playing against both a Nami player, and then a Bonney player, and I think I got 2 games against Nami. Nami's a pretty simple matchup, but one of these games actually kept me on the edge of my seat, so make sure you watch for that second game. As I was joining up here, I think my sim actually crashed after we started this game, so a little bit strange. So here we are, we're joining up in the ranked sim against Nami. Now this matchup's fairly simple. What we want to do here is find Black Maria and hopefully Island and just spam our leader ability over and over. So I see 2 Black Marias in my hand, so I keep it. That's going to be super important in this match. I'm trying to figure out my ranked sim as well because it's just crashed on me. Let me know in the comments if you guys have had any issues at all with the ranked sim lately. I know this is the first issue I've had, and of course it was when I tried to record my first sim video with Purple Kaido. I've been enjoying Purple Kaido for a while now, really. It's a ton of fun to play this deck. I used to bring it to locals back in like set 6. I brought it to a case tournament actually, where I think I got like 11th or 12th place. I did take home prizing with Purple Kaido. I was pretty proud of that, but I just barely bubbled out a top cut. I think if my matchups would have been just like 1 point better or something, I would have made it into top cut with Purple Kaido, which would have been cool. But I did manage to get 6 packs out of going there, and from my packs, I actually pulled the SP 10 cost Big Mom from set 6, so that was pretty cool. I ended up making money when I went to that event and had a ton of fun there with the boys. So here I play out 2 Bon Clays because I'm wanting to ramp even though I don't have Island. I really need to stay up on Dawn. I can't afford to just lead her ability over and over and then be at 0 Dawn when it comes time to go for game. So here we have a couple options this turn. Now, because I did use Black Maria's effect the last turn, I'm at an equal amount of Dawn, so I can use that Reiju, which is super nice. This turn, I opted not to lead her ability, I'm pretty sure. No, I did decide to lead her ability. Okay, so I lead her ability, gain 5 Dawn, and pass, so next turn I'll be at 7. The next turn, I don't think I'll want to lead her ability, that way I can start dropping bigger characters on the board. Making sure I catch up, that way when it comes time to go for game, I can go for game really safely. So as we go here, they're playing out all their Gloriosos, playing their Searchers, and they do have a blocker on the field as well, which could be a problem for us. I get an X-Drake, which is really nice in this matchup. You get that free, basically trash one from their hand. They're going to trash cards they don't need. And now I'm at 9 Dawn this turn. Well, no, I'm not at 9 Dawn. Apologies, I'm at 8 Dawn now. They just pass with all their Dawn up, which I think is a huge mistake for them. I'm going to play the 9 cost Kaido for free off of Maria. Gain my 5 Dawn and pass, so I pop their blocker. They don't get that block out of it. They play a Kai here. Now coming up, I have a couple options. I have the 10 cost I can just play. I wouldn't want to use its ability and clear my own board. That would be bad. But I do play Island. I'm going to go into Queen here. Queen, effect. Get to trash a card. This is kind of a tough decision here. I think I opt to trash the Reiju. Yeah, Reiju. I'm not really going to use that since I'm trying to keep up on Dawn. I have enough cards in hand, so it's not a big deal here. Then I'm going to lead her ability for free. Gain my 5 Dawn and pass. So next turn I'll actually be at 9 Dawn. I'm realizing that now. I can't play the 10 cost the next turn, but that's fine. Not a really big deal at all. Thinking I want to get that kid on the board. It looks like I choose to do that, replacing Reiju. And then I play X-Drake, making them trash a card from their hand yet again. Gaining an active Dawn from Hid Blocker. And then I get to free leader ability from this point on. So they're getting a huge hand, so it would be nice to see like a Law Blocker or something along those lines. But I just don't have it, unfortunately. Here, I'm going to go a sideways way of removing that Kaya. I decided I didn't want them to have that on the board. I don't want them bouncing that back to their hand, because the only way for them to win here is self-mill. They don't get their triggers in this matchup, especially when I see Black Maria and it sticks on board and they're not playing the removal to take care of it. What I've seen some Nami players doing lately to handle those, Black Maria, is, detrimental to their matchup into anything purple, especially Kaido. And then they're running like Red Rock every now and then to just bottom deck those 10 cost characters. Next turn he's in a ton of trouble. I'm pretty sure I just win the following turn because he's at 0 life. Really what he could do here is play out a blocker. If he plays a blocker, he won't have enough Dawn up though. So looking at the position I'm in, he has a ton of cards in hand, but he only has so much Dawn, so I just swing 22 at face. And I believe he's going to counter out of this one. Snake dances all 3 of those searchers back to his hand. There we go. And then he gives me a couple of counters out of hand to get out of that 22. And I just swing and win. That was a good game. I don't think it counted on my rank sim, sadly, because as you could see, my rank sim just disappeared. So here I fix it. I'll pop the video back over once this is fixed. So now I'm in my second match against Nami. I fixed my rank sim, so it's showing that I'm playing ranked here against another Nami player. Kinda crazy, I kept getting paired up into Namis. This match was way closer than the last one. Here I am trying to find a Black Maria, because I didn't get it. I mulliganed my hand to try and find it, and I still didn't find it. Luckily I did top deck an island, so I do get some form of ramp, and I'm going to play the queen to try and get closer to Black Maria. I'm 2 cards closer, but I still didn't find it. So here, past turn, they play another Kaya, so they have 2 Kayas on the board now. And then they pass to me, so I'm going to draw. Now I choose to go second this match, and really here's why. I want to keep them off 10 Dawn a little bit longer. And on top of that, going second puts me at 10 Dawn sooner without needing to play cards that ramp like Bonkley from hand. As long as I see Island, I'll be at 10 Dawn 1 turn earlier, so I can play that 10 cost from my hand. So here at turn 4, I'm already on 10 Dawn. I can play the board wipe. I wipe the board because he has 3 Kayas and a Marguerite on board. So I definitely want to remove those, that way he can't snake dance them back to hand. And now I know there's only 1 more Kaya in his entire deck. So here I did get a Law in my hand earlier, so I play that to trash 2 cards from his hand. Looking back, I probably should have started swinging here to whittle down his hand even more, but I top deck another Law, so I don't really get punished for doing that. Here I'm going to play the Kid first, and then the Law, the sequencing there, so that I can get back my active Dawn. It doesn't really matter at all, but why not play the Law first? Here, I've just blocked with the Law. I don't want him trashing cards for free from his deck, and it turns out that doing that actually mattered a lot here. At the end, this match gets really close because I'm just not trashing the life cards the way I would like to. Here I just play a 10 cost as a vanilla and pass. That way I've got another good character to swing with. He plays Hanger. Burn through some more cards, and then he also plays Kaya. So we definitely want to remove that Kaya and that Hanger. We don't want him to have a way to just discard cards from his deck. So I play the 10 cost to get rid of the Kaya, and then I swing 12 at the Hanger. He could snake dance it back to hand if he values having it, but he decides to let it die, and then I just pass the turn, keeping my 10 cost. He's going to swing 7. I'll block in 2k. I don't want him trashing any extra cards at all. Only a 9, so I can't get out that extra 10 cost. Would have been nice, but I do hit the X-Drake, making him trash a card, and then gaining back my Dawn. And then here's where I start swinging. I'm gonna have to start going for game here soon, otherwise I just won't get any opportunities to do so. So I swing 13. He's gonna counter out of this one, getting himself all the way up to 14. After he counters out here, I decide it's best to just swing, and swing. So I'm going to swing with every single character I have on board this turn. They're burning through their Dawn, they're burning through their cards in hand. They're also burning through their deck. So it's a little dangerous, but are you going to win without Black Maria unless you swing per game? It's really crazy how close this game gets. So he did double White Snake here. So he has a 7k leader after this. So I swing 12, he White Snakes and then takes. That way his leader is a 7k, but he has no Dawn left. So I'm in an alright spot. I decide to start here. I'm counting my Dawn, trying to figure out the best way to do this. I start with just 7 face. I believe he counters out. Then I go 8 face with leader. He'd have to give me a 2k, or he can take it. He just takes, and then I go 10, and he'll take there as well. No triggers there, thank goodness. I think if he would have triggered like a peel off or something there, he'd have won this game. So again, really, really, really close match. This next turn is my chance to win. He's going to end the turn. He has seven cards in his deck. 4 Dawn up. So I saw that as a mistake. He didn't leave very much Dawn up. Now he's 3 Dawn. Draws a card off of that search. He did trash 2 from his hand. I'm going through his trash, just making sure he can't grab a Kaya off of that search, and he can't. He does grab a peel off, so he has a dead card in hand now that he can't counter with. Thinking about what to do, because I did get a 10 cost, but I'm realizing no, he only has 3 Dawn up. I have to swing per game. I believe he decides to block this first swing. So he's going to go ahead and take the block here. And then I'm going to go 13 again. This one he takes. He gets a trigger, so he only has 4 cards in his deck right now. I use leader ability, trashing a ton of active Dawn, but I have to because I don't want him to hit a trigger. And then I go 14 for game. He has to get through 4 cards with 3 Dawn. I don't think he can do it. Snake dances a card back to hand. Now he's 1 Dawn to work with. He trashes 2, but he can't win, so I take it. Now you can see here too, I didn't see Black Maria that whole game. I didn't have one in my life either. So I went through a lot of cards in my deck and still just didn't manage to find it. So we're going to play one more ranked game here with Kaido. In this last match, we find a Bonney. So we're playing against Bonney. And I choose second. This hand looks good because I have Island and I have Black Maria, so I keep. You definitely want to keep if you have Island. I'd rather have even 2 or 3 islands in hand than mulligan and get 0 island. It's just so important for this deck to be able to ramp quickly and play those big characters really fast. Now turn 1 on 2 Dawn, I can't really do anything. I could Sheep's Horns, their blocker if I really wanted to. I don't know why you would ever do that, so I'm not going to. So I just pass. Definitely going to want to search before he swings, so he searches there. And here we have a Bonney search. So I debate here on which one to swing into, but I think I definitely want to swing into the Bonney searcher. The reason for that is Basil is really difficult in this matchup. My only real answer is Sheep's Horn when I'm going for game, but I'd rather just not have to deal with a Basil on board. So I'd rather that, not come into play. So I get rid of his Bonney searcher. He does have a rogue, so he plays that out. He decides to search now. And then at the end of the turn, he's going to gain back an active Dawn from the blocker that he played out. Here, the only play is to swing big. I decide to swing big into the searcher. He should definitely let that go. He should value his blocker more than that searcher. And I don't want him to block and counter here. Save the searcher and the blocker because I don't have a way of removing it. My hand's a little bit rough. But I play Black Maria because next turn I can play out a non-cost Kaido. Or, well, I would play it for free, but at the time I didn't pay any attention to my opponent's Dawn, so if I play it out, I'll only be at 9 on the following turn, but that's fine. I'm going to play it out anyway. You got to get rid of that blocker rogue here. And since I have so many Black Marias in hand, I believe I decided to swing 6 with leader first. And debating what the best way here to go is, so I start with a 5k swing. And he decides to take it. He doesn't take the free block. So I'm going to pop his blocker there, gain my rested Dawn, and swing 10 at life, which I believe he decides to take again. He doesn't want to lose that blocker quite yet, so he takes the life. So this game was crazy. There's some really big brain plays here at the end going for lethal, and overall it was really purely lucky. I'm really excited to show this one to you guys. So past turn, I do have to go back down to 7 Dawn because that was what my opponent was at. He kills my Black Maria, 5k swing. Black Maria is just awesome. Pseudo blocker gets you all the ramp. If it's ever rested, they've got to swing into it, otherwise it just punishes them way too hard. So here I was really expecting a non-cost Zoro to be played. If he had it, I really think he should have played it. And then he plays that Luffy that protects those blockers from being KO'd by effects, which actually winds up mattering a bit here in a couple of turns. But here, I can play both Black Maria and Queen, so I think I decide to do that. He doesn't have any Dawn up, so he can't rest my characters. So I swing the correct way, I swing small first, and I swing big in the face. I ignore that Basil because I don't really care about it. I have Sheepsworn in hand, so I can just rest it when it comes time to go for game. Here, I am going to play Queen, and then I'm going to get a free leader ability off because I have Black Maria on board, and I pass turn. Now we're sitting pretty good. We have a couple zero cost events in hand. We do have an Onigashima, so we have a good target to discard here. Off of the zero cost event, we'll go 6 at life instead of at the Queen. I would have let the Queen die if he swung Queen. And I'm debating if I should counter here. I think I decide to take. And thankfully I do, because I hit that 9 buck, which is really good here. So I do -5, and I'm trying to KO his blocker because I'm like, oh, I could go for game. But wait, I can't kill it because Luffy. Thankfully, he opts to use the blocker's effect and just let the blocker die, which is what I wanted in the first place. And then I'm realizing, wait, I have really bad numbers for lethal. So I'll just swing 10 at the Luffy, and that will die. And then I'll pass. I have a blocker. There's no way that I can lose this with turn now because I killed that Luffy. He has 3 swings. I have 2 life and a blocker. So unless he has a way to rest that Queen, he can't go for game this turn. He could play Hody, but I have the counter for that. So I'm feeling really good here. And then the next turn, if he doesn't play 10 cost, I can go for him. I think this would be a great turn for him to play 10 cost Doflamingo, but if I'm remembering the game correctly, he doesn't have it. So here he thinks for a little bit, looking through his trash. He doesn't have very many 2Ks in trash, so it makes me nervous about going for game. I decided to block that first swing, let my blocker die. So now he'd be in a really good spot to play the 10 cost, but he doesn't. He decides to play Jewelry Bonney, decides to search, and he grabs another Basil, which he plays. Swing 6 at my life, and I decide to counter because I can counter out of this one. Then he swings 7, so this is what allowed me to go for game. I take it and I hit a Law. So here I'm gonna rest Basil, and then I play Law here. No. I swing 11 because he's at 6 cards in hand. Got to be at 7 for that Law to work, so I swing 11 knowing that he'll take that. And unless he hits a trigger, I can Law him after that. That Law trashed a 2k and a 1k from his hand. So I have terrible numbers right now. Right, I have to do Dawn -7, use Maria ability, and swing 7 at life. And odds are he has it, but believe it or not, he only had 2 1Ks in hand, winning me that ranked match. That was really close, guys. I only had 1 blocker on the board. I didn't go for clearing his board, which I could have. That would have been the safer play. Swinging at his board would have been the smart thing to do, but I didn't. and I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because he had Hody in hand, which would have hurt. Yeah, guys, this is my deck list I was running for that video, and again, thank you so much for watching it. That Sheep's Horn, that Law really came in clutch in that last game. And if you guys would like to see me play Lucci, or Black Luffy, definitely let me know in the comments. I've been enjoying those decks a ton at the more competitive events I've been going to. I'm going to go ahead and pull up those deck lists for you here in a sec to have a look at. So again, let me know if you're interested in seeing either of these decks. I've been loving Lucci. This is the deck I've been running in any sort of competitive event. Here's my Black Luffy. This one's just a ton of fun. But yeah, you guys have a good one. Please like and subscribe.